much for joining this beautiful morning, and hope and pray that every one of you must have a wonderful journey in the 12 forest of Vrindavan. Also, I would like to welcome Subhadra, I think from Boston, maybe daughter of Ranga Mataji. She is a beautiful singer. And also Anjaneya Prabhu also joined today. Welcome, and hope and pray that you can join more often and release the holy name. So those spiritual warriors who always take austere time and join every morning, Sneha Mataji, Advaita Chandra Prabhu, Atulya Devidasi, and hopefully Radha will join later. Ishwar Krishna Prabhu, Yamuna Sundari Mataji, I.V. Gautam, Girivardhari Prabhu, Shyam Leela Devidasi, Manani Mataji, Patit Pavan Prabhu, Shikha Mataji, Divya Mataji, Taruni Radha Devidasi, Shroman Singh Mataji, Parmeshwari Devidasi, Hanuman Prabhu, Raghav Chaitanya Prabhu. Today we miss Gopal Hari Prabhu and his wife Devi Murti Devidasi, Rukmini Priya Devidasi, Manmathanam Prabhu, Shundri Radha Mataji, Rama Panda will join soon, Srinivas Acharya Prabhu, Prafulanand Madhav Prabhu, Sripad Lalita Devidasi. I didn't see the daughter Akshata today. Prasanna Visakha Devidasi, Murli Mohan Prabhu, Sakti Mata Devidasi, Parmanand Hari Prabhu and Nandan Priya Mataji, Nadia Kumar Prabhu, Shraman Panchal Prabhu, Sistastika Devidasi, Kasturi Manjari Mataji, Amal Atman Prabhu, Leela Manjari Devidasi, Satyabhama Devidasi, Sritala Priya Devidasi, Sachinandan Krishna Prabhu, Sugandharaj Prabhu, Aradhana Devidasi, Rajeshwari Priya Devidasi, Govinda Gita Devidasi, Sarvatarak Prabhu, Yugal Priti Devidasi, Ravi Pramarthi Prabhu, Nishan Sharma Prabhu, Priyanka Mataji, Saraswati Devidasi, Sankari Kaur Devidasi, Ravi Pipilia Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Sumitra Radha Mataji, Devendra Krishna, and Divyansan Saloni, Ganga Devidasi, Janki Khan Prabhu, Lavanga Latika Mataji, Pandurang Devdas Prabhu, Damodarati Mataji, Vraj Vinod Prabhu and Anand Vinodini Devidasi, Nama Priya Devidasi, Pratmesh Prabhu, Shrikant Survase Prabhu, Yuva Shri and Sudarshan Prabhu, Raman Krishna Prabhu and Leela Mangal Devidasi, Sriya Devidasi, Neeraj Srivastav Prabhu, Raja Ramdas Prabhu, Shweti Prabhu, Namanand Prabhu, Prem Vinodini Mataji, Anand Leela Devidasi, Nandini, Abhay Prabhu, Lata Uza, Kishore Krishna Prabhu, Vijay Keshav Prabhu, Radhe, Bhadra Bharti Mataji, Kamal Mukha Krishna Prabhu, Rupa Vilas Prabhu, Subra Mataji, Uttam Bhakta Prabhu, Vallabhi Mataji, Bhakti Priya Devidasi, Tulsi Priya Devidasi, and Jai Govinda Prabhu, Rajendra Prabhu, Shri Kumar Prabhu, Radha Seva Devidasi, Lilavati Devidasi, Sujata, Rati Vilas Devidasi. I didn't see Nitya Gauranga Prabhu today. Sudhir Krishna Prabhu, Sakhi Saran Devidasi, Madan Mohan Kundu Prabhu, Advait Prabhu, Rashakeda Prabhu, Anand Radhika Devidasi, Parveen Prabhu and Priyanka Mataji, Kamal Priya Mataji, Kamini Priya Mataji, Barsana Rani Mataji, Manoj Kapoor Prabhu, Radhacharan Prabhu, Sundari Leela Devidasi, Jai Sachinandan Prabhu, Madhvi Gopi Mataji, Rukmati Devidasi, Subhangi Mother, Abhay Mohan Prabhu. I didn't see Chaitanya Ras Prabhu today. Kanta Mataji, Balram Prabhu, Sarvasakti Devidasi, Sanjay Sijayapate, Tulsi Gamer Prabhu, Sharmista Sahi, Amit and Prem Priya Padma Mataji, Lal Gopal Prabhu, Mulli Gopal Prabhu, Asis Khanna, Vishal Bola, Puja Mataji, Sesa Kapoor, Rasmi Mataji, Lekha Mataji, Rati Prabhu, Radha Vallabh Prabhu, Krita Lakshan Prabhu, Srinivas Charan Prabhu, Haribol, Priya Kasturi Devidasi, Abhay Charan Prabhu and Supruti Devidasi. They joined very early, Haribol. Shyam Sundar Prabhu and Harikatha Mataji. Their daughter Gopi Priya will definitely join at 7:40, I think. Sachi Mataji, we are missing and I didn't communicate with her. I don't know if I have a contact number. Suchitra Devidasi also joined very early, 5:30. She is from Boise. So that's about, 2 hours behind. Kamalesh Dingra Mataji. Raghav Perumal Prabhu. I didn't see Pitambar Priya Prabhu from Tempe today. Kalpataru Mataji. Manjira Mataji will join soon. Pragya Nagpal joined. She promised me and she is joining. I'm so happy to see. Gopika Devidasi. Lakshmi Kranti Prabhu. Mahati Prakash. Uma Pavani. I didn't see her today. Rupa Prabhu will join if he has not joined. Hemangini Chauhan Mataji joined. Kapil Sachadev will join from Alaska very soon. Syam Hari Prabhu. Raga Bhakti Devidasi. Anita Saharidan joined today. Now, Lata Oza, we said that. And Silpi Nisika join always before 2 o'clock. And also Gunavati Gangamai joined today. Let me see. And Vansi Gopal Prabhu, Rico Eli, I didn't see him today. Taneswar Prabhu joined. No. I think those are these devotees joined. If I have missed someone, please forgive me. Let's hear the wonderful song before we read the Krishna book. Haribol.
सर्वस्व तोमार चरणे संपिया ओढ़ेछि तोमार घरे सर्वस्व तोमार चरणे संपिया ओढ़ेछि तोमार घरे तुम तो ठाकुर तोमार कुकुर बोलिया जान हो मोरे तुम तो ठाकुर तोमार कुकुर बोलिया जाना हो मोरे बांधिया निकटे आमारे पालिबे रहिब तोमार द्वारे बांधिया निकटे आमारे पालिबे रहिब तोमार द्वारे प्रतिप जाने रे आसिते ना दिब राखिब गडेर पारे प्रतिप जाने रे आसिते न दिब राखिब गडेर पारे सर्वस्व तोमार चरणे संपिया ओढ़ेछि तोमार घरे तुमी तो ठाकुर तोमार कुकुर बोलिया जान हो मोरे सर्वस्व तोमार चरणे संपिया ओढ़ेछि तोमार घरे तव निज जन प्रसाद सेविया उच्चिष्ट राखिबे जहा तव निज जन प्रसाद सेविया उच्चिष्ट राखिबे जहा আমার ভোজন পরমানন্দে প্রতিদিন হবে তাহার। আমার ভোজন পরমানন্দে প্রতিদিন হবে তাহার। সর্বস্ব তোমার চরণে সম্পিয়া পড়েছি তোমার ঘরে। তুমি তো ঠাকুর তোমার কুকুর বলিয়া জানা হো মোরে। সর্বস্ব তোমার চরণে সম্পিয়া পড়েছি তোমার ঘরে। বসিয়া শুইয়া তোমার চরণ চিন্তিব সতত আমি। বসিয়া শুইয়া তোমার চরণ চিন্তিব সতত আমি। নাচিতে নাচিতে নিকটে যাইব যখন ডাকিবে তুমি। নাচিতে নাচিতে নিকটে যাইব যখন ডাকিবে তুমি। সর্বস্ব তোমার চরণে সম্পিয়া পড়েছি তোমার ঘরে। তুমি তো ঠাকুর তোমার কুকুর বলিয়া জানা হো মোরে। সর্বস্ব তোমার চরণে সম্পিয়া পড়েছি তোমার ঘরে। নিজের পোষণ কভু না ভাবিব রহিব ভাবের ভরে। নিজের পোষণ কভু না ভাবিব রহিব ভাবের ভরে। ভক্তি বিনো তোমারে পালক বলিয়া বরণ করে। ভক্তি বিনো তোমারে পালক বলিয়া বরণ করে। সর্বস্ব তোমার চরণে সম্পিয়া পড়েছি তোমার ঘরে। তুমি তো ঠাকুর তোমার কুকুর বলিয়া জানা হো মোরে।
Thank you very much, our IT team. Play a wonderful song of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So it has been a day, one day gone in between. So I think there is a long paragraph, but I think I'll just read few lines to bring up to this page so our mind become focused for the message of Krishna. The mature devotees who have completely executed Krishna consciousness are immediately transferred to the universe where Krishna is appearing. In that universe, the devotees get their final opportunity to associate with Krishna personally and directly. The training goes on as we see in the Vrindavan Lila of Krishna within this planet. Krishna therefore revealed the actual future of the Vaikuntha planets so that the inhabitants of Vrindavan could know their destination. That's where we stop. So this is how the process works. Before we go to Goloka Vrindavan, we will take the birth where Krishna Lila is going on, and our superior will train us. Some corrections need to be done. The final adjustment will be made during that birth. And then when we become totally 100% perfect, we can enter into the Goloka Vrindavan. So thus, Krishna showed them the eternal, ever-existing spiritual sky, which is unlimited and full of knowledge. Within this material world, there are different gradations of forms, and according to the gradations, knowledge is proportionately manifested. For example, the knowledge in the body of a child is not as perfect as the knowledge in the body of an adult man. Everywhere there are different gradations of living entities in aquatic animals, in the plants and trees, in the reptiles and insects, in birds and beasts, and in the civilized and uncivilized human form of life. Above the human form of life, there are demigods, charanas, and siddhas, on up to Brahmaloka, where Lord Brahma lives. And among these demigods, there are always different gradations of knowledge. But past this material world, in the Vaikuntha sky, everyone is in full knowledge. All the living entities that are engaged in devotional service to the Lord, either in the Vaikuntha planet or in Krishna Loka. As it is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita, full knowledge means knowing Krishna to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the Vedas and Bhagavad Gita, it is also stated that in the Brahmajyoti or spiritual sky, there is no need of sunlight, moonlight, or electricity. All those planets are self-illuminating, and all of them are eternally situated. No annihilation takes place. Spiritual world is eternally existing. So there is no question of creation and annihilation in the Brahmajyoti spiritual sky. Bhagavad Gita also confirms that beyond the material sky, there is another eternal spiritual sky where everything is eternally existing. Information of the spiritual sky can be had only from great sages and saintly persons who have already surpassed the influence of the three material modes of nature. Unless one is constantly situated on the transcendental platform, it is not possible to understand the spiritual nature. Therefore, it is recommended that one should take to Bhakti Yoga and keep himself engaged 24 hours in Krishna consciousness. So while we go to sleep, and if you can remember Krishna and chant the holy name, subconscious, our mind will keep on chanting. And this is how we will be able to remain 24 engaged in Krishna consciousness, or we can dream wonderful, beautiful Vrindavan pastimes, which places one beyond the reach of the modes of material nature. One in Krishna consciousness can easily understand the nature of the spiritual sky and Vaikuntha Loka. The inhabitants of Vrindavan, being always engaged in Krishna consciousness, could therefore very easily understand the transcendental nature of the Vaikuntha Lokas. Thus, Krishna led all the cowherdmen, headed by Nanda Maharaj, to the lake where Akrura was later shown the Vaikuntha planetary systems. They took their bath immediately and saw the real nature of the Vaikuntha Lokas. And after seeing the spiritual sky and the Vaikuntha Lokas, all the men headed by Nanda Maharaj felt wonderfully blissful, and coming out of the river, they saw Krishna, who was being worshipped with the excellent prayers. Krishna is so kind, huh? Thus, and the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 28th chapter of Krishna, releasing Nanda Maharaj from the clutches of Varuna Deva. Now, very important topic that general mass of people always are interested. Chapter 29, Rasa Dance. And this will really help us to understand that how much ignorance is there in the general populace. They have never understood who the gopis are or how they perform the rasa dance. Is there any material motivation or some lust is there? This chapter will clear. And I think it's nice that Prabhupada has written so wonderfully to really give us the glimpse into the rasa dance. That who are these people? Gopis. So let's read. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated the rasa dance took place on the full moon night of the Sarat season. From the statement of previous chapters, it appeared that the festival of Govardhan Puja was performed just after the dark moon night of the month of Kartik. And thereafter, the ceremony of Bharat Trudvitiya was performed. Then the wrath of Indra was exhibited in the shape of a torrent of rain and hailstorm. And Lord Krishna held up the Govardhan hill for 7 days, up until the 9th day of the moon. Thereafter, on the 10th day, the inhabitants of Vrindavan were talking among themselves about the wonderful activity of Krishna. And the next day, Ekadasi was observed by Nanda Maharaj. And then on the next day, Dwadasi, Nanda Maharaj went to take a bath in the Ganges and was arrested by the men of Varuna. And then he was released by Lord Krishna. Then Nanda Maharaj, along with the cowherd men, was shown the spiritual sky. This is so nice a repetition, so we can remember. We are so dull-minded, right? At least for I can say I have to read many times to grasp the point. In this way, the full moon night of Sarat season came to an end. The full moon night of Ashwina is called Sarat Purnima. It appeared from the statement of Srimad Bhagavatam that Krishna had to wait another year for such a moon before enjoying the Ras dance with the gopis. At the age of 7 years, he lifted Govardhan hill. Therefore, the Ras dance took place during his 8th year. From Vedic literature, it appears that when a theatrical actor dances among many dancing girls, the group dance is called a rasa dance. When Krishna saw the full moon night of the Sarat season, he decorated himself with various seasonal flowers, especially the Mallika flowers, which are very fragrant. He remembered the gopis' prayer to goddess Katyayani, wherein they prayed for Krishna to be their husband. And he thought that the full moon night of the Sarat season was just suitable for a nice dance. So their desire to have Krishna as their husband would then be fulfilled. He also stealing the garment, he fulfilled the desire also when they were coming to worship the Katyayani at the same place. The words used in this connection in Srimad Bhagavatam are Bhagavan Api. This means that although Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he has no desire that need to be fulfilled because he is always full with six opulences. Yet he wanted to enjoy the company of the gopis. Bhagavan api signifies that this is not like the ordinary dancing of the young boy and young girls. The specific word used in Srimad Bhagavatam is yogamayam upashritaha, which means that this dancing with the gopis is on the platform of yogamaya, not mahamaya. So as long as we are entrapped in the influence by mahamaya, there is no hope. But still we see that some of them, they have the Bhagavad Saptah and then they have a rasa dance. Haribol. The dancing of young boys and girls within this material world is in the kingdom of Mahamaya, or the external energy. The rasa dance of Krishna with the gopis is on the platform of Yogamaya. The difference between the platform of Yogamaya and Mahamaya is compared in Chaitanya Charitamrita to the difference between gold and iron. From the viewpoint of metallurgy, gold and iron are both metals, but the quality is completely different. Similarly, although the Rasa dance and Lord Krishna's association with the gopis appear like the ordinary mixing of young boys and girls, the quality is completely different. The difference is appreciated by great Vaishnavas because they can understand the difference between love of Krishna and lust. On the Mahamaya platform, dances take place on the basis of sense gratification. But when Krishna called the gopis by sounding his flute, the gopis very hurriedly rushed toward the spot of ras dance with the transcendental desire of satisfying Krishna. The author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, has explained that lust means sense gratification. And love also means sense gratification, but for Krishna. In other words, when activities are enacted on the platform of personal sense gratification, they are called material activities. But when they are enacted for the satisfaction of Krishna, then they are spiritual activities. Haribol. So those modes, like passion, if we can utilize in Krishna service on the initial stage, because we are engrossed by those modes of nature, we are not free. So it's better to use those where we are having influence at anyway. Try to divert for the pleasure of Krishna. But the time comes then those modes of nature completely eradicate from our spiritual life. And we will be situated in a Shuddha goodness. There is no influence of modes of nature at that moment. But initially, yes, we can utilize in service of Krishna to purify. On any platform of activities, the principle of sense gratification is there. But on the spiritual platform, sense gratification is for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Whereas on the material platform, it is for the performer. Prabhupada making very exemplary by showing the example that on the material platform, when a servant serves a master, he is not trying to satisfy the senses of the master, but rather his own senses. In our neophyte stage. We cook the wonderful prasadam, what we like to eat. But the time comes that we just want to show what Krishna likes. The servant would not show the master if the payment stopped. That means that the servant engaged himself in the service of the master just to satisfy his senses. But on the spiritual platform, the servitor of the Supreme Personality Godhead serves Krishna without payment, and he continues his service in all conditions. That is the difference between Krishna consciousness and material consciousness. It appeared that Krishna enjoyed the Ras dance with the gopis when he was 8 years old. At the time, many of the gopis were married because in India, especially in those days, the girls were married at very early age. There are even many instances of a girl giving birth to a child at the age of 12. Under the circumstances, all the gopis who wanted to have Krishna as their husband were already married. At the same time, they continued to hope that Krishna would be their husband. Their attitude toward Krishna was that of a paramour love. Therefore, the loving affair of Krishna with the gopis is called Parakya Ras. A married man or a wife who desires another wife or husband is called Parakya Ras. And it's very abnormal. We should not think in the material world. Actually, Krishna is the husband of everyone because he is the supreme enjoyer. The gopis wanted Krishna to be their husband, but factually, there was no possibility of his marrying all the gopis. But because they had the natural tendency to accept Krishna as their supreme husband, the relationship between the gopis and Krishna is called Parakya Ras. This Parakya Ras is ever existence in only Goloka Vrindavan, in the spiritual sky, where there is no possibility of the inability which characterizes Parakya Ras in the material world. So in the material world, Parakya Ras is abnormal, whereas in the spiritual world, it is present in the super excellent relationship of Krishna and the gopis. There are many other relationships with Krishna, master and servant, friends and friend, parents and son, and lover and beloved. Out of all these rasas, the Parakya Ras is considered to be the topmost. This material world is the perverted reflection of the spiritual world. It is just like the reflection of a tree on the bank of a reservoir of water. The topmost part of the tree is seen as the lowest part. Similarly, Parakya Ras, when pervertedly reflected in this material world, is abnormal. When people therefore imitate the Ras dance of Krishna with the gopis, they simply enjoy the perverted, abnormal reflection of the transcendental Parakya Ras. There is no possibility of enjoying this transcendental Parakya Ras within this material world. It is stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam that one should not even imitate this Parakya Ras, even in the dream or in imagination. Those who do so drink the most deadly poison. When Krishna, the supreme enjoyer, desired to enjoy the company of the gopis on the full moon night of the Sarat season, exactly at that very moment, the moon the Lord of the stars, appeared in the sky, displaying its most beautiful features. The full moon night of the Sarath season is the most beautiful night in the year. In India, there is a great monument called Taj Mahal in Agra, a city in the Uttar Pradesh province, and the tomb is made of first-class marble stone. And during the night of the full moon of the Sarath season, many foreigners go to see the beautiful reflection of the moon on the tomb. Thus, this full moon night is celebrated even today for its beauty. So when the full moon rose in the cast, it tinged everything with a reddish color. With the rising of the moon, the whole sky appears smeared by red kumkum. When a husband long separated from his wife returns home, he decorates the face of his wife with red kumkum. This long-expected moonrise of the Sarath season was thus smearing the eternal sky. The appearance of the moon increased Krishna's desire to dance with the gopis. The forests were filled with fragrant flowers. The atmosphere was cooling and festive. And when Lord Krishna began to blow his flute, the gopis all over Vrindavan became enchanted. Their attractions to the vibrations of the flute increased 1,000 times due to the rising full moon. The red horizon, the calm and cool atmosphere, and the blossoming flowers. All these gopis were by nature very much attracted to Krishna's beauty. And when they heard the vibration of his flute, they became apparently lustful to satisfy the sense of Krishna. Immediately upon hearing the vibration of the flute, they all left their respective engagement and proceeded to the spot where Krishna was standing. While they ran very swiftly, all their earrings swung back and forth. They all rushed toward the place known as Vansivat. Some of them were engaged in milking cows, but they left their milking business half finished and immediately went to Krishna. One of them had just collected milk and put it in a milk pan on the oven to boil, but she did not care whether the milk overboiled and spilled. She immediately left, go to Sri Krishna. Some of them were breastfeeding their small babies, and some were engaged in distributing food to the member of their families. But they left all such engagement and immediately rushed toward the spot where Krishna was playing his flute. Some were engaged in serving their husband, and some were themselves engaged in eating, but neither caring to serve their husband nor eat, they immediately left. Some of them wanted to decorate their faces with cosmic ointment and to dress themselves very nicely before going to Krishna. But unfortunately, they could not finish their cosmetic decoration nor put on their dresses in right way because of their anxiety to meet Krishna immediately. Their faces were decorated hurriedly and were haphazardly finished. Some even put the lower part of their dresses on the upper part of their bodies and the upper part on the lower part of the body. They forget their existence. That's the beauty of the love of Krishna. So we will stop here. It's about time. We should be punctual. Some of the devotees want to go. Uh, so we need to facilitate. So with those thoughts, we will, after this, we will continue for 1 more hour. Whoever has the time and desire, they can hang around and chant with us for another 1 more hour. So with those thoughts, always remain happy, jubilant, and totally fearless. And whoever you come across, give them a kind words that their life also becomes successful, joyful, and with no anxiety, no suffering in their life. So I would like to offer my humble obeisances at the desk of these wonderful Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis who take so much austerity. It's not easy to wake up early in the morning and join the Zoom call. Those devotees who join from Connecticut, New Hampshire, Aurora, Illinois, Cottondale, New York, New Jersey, Virginia, Boston, Boise, Atlanta. Today, uh, uh, Prabhu didn't join from Tempe, Phoenix, Austin, College Station, San Jose, Portland, Dallas, Detroit, Chicago, Naperville, Philadelphia, Charlotte, Baltimore, Baton Rouge, Alachua, Orlando, Jacksonville, Ohio, St. Louis, Loganville, Georgia, San Diego, Calcutta, New Delhi, Toronto, and Alaska. The Kapil will join soon. And Maine, New Orleans, and also Ottawa, the capital of Ontario. Haribol. Lakshmikant Prabhu joined from Ottawa every day, very early, very steadfast. Since he started joining, he always joined very, very early, around 2:30 or so. Very, very nice to see the devotees. A lot of devotees are getting fixed up, so it's so nice to see like that.